what's going on, guys? It's J-Mass, and I'm back again with another dope New England adventure. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a shorter one. We're just going to be checking out one small building, but it's a really cool one. I haven't been here in many years, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So right now I'm standing in the beautiful Wompatuck State Park here in the town of Hingham, Massachusetts, located right on the south shore of Massachusetts. And this building that I'm standing in front of right now is known as Building 83. Now, Building 83 was once part of a much larger complex here in modern-day Wompatuck State Park. It was known as the Hingham Naval Ammunition Depot Annex. Very long title. Try saying that 5 times fast. But the Hingham Naval Ammunition Depot Annex was built by the U.S. Navy all the way back in 1941. It was primarily used during World War II, but it was also used during the Korean War starting in 1950. Now, the Hingham Naval Ammunition Depot Annex was eventually abandoned in 1962, and in 1966, the state of Massachusetts took this area over, demolished and razed most of the buildings, and ever since then, it's been a state park. But Building 83, located right behind me, is one of the last remaining structures left on the property, if not the only one. We're gonna check it out today, and I'm excited to explore Building 83, one of the last remaining structures here in the Hingham Naval Ammunition Depot Annex, a World War II and Korean War U.S. Navy annex. Pretty cool area. Anyways, my name is J-Mass, as you guys know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you love abandoned locations and urban exploration and other New England travel. Or follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. Always posting pictures there. But yeah, let's get exploring Building 83 here in the town of Hingham, Massachusetts. So this right here is an overhead view of Building 83 here in Wompatuck State Park. As you can see, not too big of a structure, but still a pretty cool one. It's constructed out of thick concrete, and as you can tell, it's heavily tagged with graffiti. Though I do have to be honest, some of this graffiti is pretty cool. Now, I will be upfront, I don't know the exact date that Building 83 was constructed, though I do have to assume it was probably built sometime during World War II. And I also don't know why it's called Building 83. My best assumption is it was probably one of 83 buildings on the property, you know, maybe within a series of buildings. But what I do know is that Building 83 was actually a missile testing facility. And in a little bit, I'll show you an abandoned railroad track that's nearby that actually transported some of the missiles here in Building 83. But it's pretty cool. Again, as I said, lots of graffiti covering the structure. So as I mentioned, Building 83 is located right here in Wompatuck State Park. And because of that, it's actually located right alongside a public trail. The whole time I've been filming, there have been endless streams of hikers coming through. And that being said, it's a pretty public property. You can walk around, no problem whatsoever exploring this property. It is open to the public. But I think we're gonna go check out the inside of this building. Pretty excited to check that out. It's been quite a while. And luckily I got my flashlight right here. Let's see what's going on. This is the first room in Building 83. Obviously not too much going on here, a very small one. Then you got this abandoned door right here. Kind of cool. Let's check this out. Again, not too much going on. It is a pretty small room, though it looks like someone actually tried to start a fire here. Interesting. Yeah, I got some piping. That's the outside right there. Yeah, I got some piping, still a ton of graffiti. Another little utilities room right here. Mostly piping and electrical equipment and stuff like that. Yeah, so as I said, it's a pretty small property, nothing too major, nothing too big, but still really cool to check out. I mean, it's always fun going inside of these abandoned locations. And this right here is what I assume is the front end of Building 83. Pretty cool. Now, I don't actually know why this building was left behind. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, most of the buildings and structures that once existed at the Hingham Naval Ammunition Depot Annex were destroyed and razed by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to make way for Wompatuck State Park. Yet for some reason, Building 83 remains. I have absolutely no clue why, and I'd be curious to know more about the history and story of Building 83. But that's ultimately about it. It is a pretty small structure, as I stated, so this is going to be a pretty short video, though very soon I will show you guys the abandoned railroad tracks that are nearby. This was a missing test facility, And as a result, they used the railroad tracks to transport missiles from this location. Okay, we're gonna take a bit of a quick detour from Building 83 right over there. And now I wanna show you guys over here, these abandoned railroad tracks. Now, again, don't know exactly what these were used for, don't know when these were constructed or abandoned, but my best guess is that these were used to load missiles and other military surplus materials from Building 83 and potentially other buildings here in the Hingham Naval Ammunition Depot Annex, and they were probably transported to other locations. But you can see it's pretty cool. Remnants of the abandoned railroad tracks that were once used. Pretty cool, and completely overcovered by moss and lichen and other plants and vegetation. Now, the Hingham Naval Ammunition Depot Annex in itself is pretty cool. At its peak in June 1945, I believe it had over 3,000 people, both civilians, officers, soldiers, everyone. I mean, that was the height of World War II, especially America's involvement. But pretty cool area, though, I gotta say. Hey, thank you guys for joining me. I've been J-Mass as always, and this has been another dope New England adventure. So today we checked out Building 83, once part of the former Hingham Naval Ammunition Depot Annex, which was built in 1941 and abandoned in 1962, used during World War II and the Korean War. Today it's part of Wompatuck State Park, which was originally taken over by the state of Massachusetts in 1966. And even though most of the buildings on the property have been demolished and razed, no longer exist, Building 83 for some reason still remains. Pretty strange. Again, I don't know why this building was left behind when so many others were destroyed, but it's pretty cool. And I'm glad I got to bring you guys along and just show you this small little piece of history. Now, ironically, this has been one of the hardest videos I've ever had to film. Despite its size and location, there have been so many hikers going by. It's a very loud area. Lots of hikers come by. So if you ever come here, it's packed. Lots of people come here. But still really cool. Just want to show you while I was here in Hingham. And anyways, I've been J-Mass as always. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you love abandoned locations, urbex, all that kind of stuff. Or follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. But I've been J-Mass, Building 83, Hingham, Massachusetts, Wompatuck State Park, Hingham Naval Ammunition Depot Annex. So sick of saying that title. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.